You're listening to the NCF&B podcast. The North Carolina Food and Beverage Podcast takes you behind the scenes of North Carolina's food and beverage industry. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at NCFB Pod, presented by Food Scene. That's foodscene.com, providing professional photography, social media management, video production, and website design. And now, enjoy the show.
Thank you for listening to the NCF&B podcast. I am your co-host, Max Trujillo.
I'm your co-host, Matthew Weiss, and we ran into one of our locals down here in Euphoria, Greenville.
North Carolina in the house?
Yep. Of the soon-to-be open Coronato Pizza, the chef, Mr. Teddy Diggs.
Yes, yes.
Welcome,
Hello.
sir.
Thank
Good
you
to
for
see you,
having
man.
me. Oh, terrific
Kristen
being here.
over there with the social media and the pictures.
Oh yeah.
You know, you got to walk around with your own paparazzi everywhere you go.
Yeah.
That's how you make it. That's how you make it work.
Yeah.
So we don't want to get too deep in this conversation because you are going to be on a scheduled studio interview, not at our satellite studio here in Euphoria, Greenville,
but in our downtown location studios
new
of
downtown
Raleigh.
location. So we can only talk about a few things here.
With that said, you may know Chef Teddy Diggs because he was once the chef at Il Palio, a great restaurant inside of the Sienna Hotel. But now you are doing a bunch of things. You're getting ready to open up your pizza joint, but in lieu of that, you're here at Euphoria. But you're just kind of you're ready to pounce and hit the world with what you're about to do.
Yeah, basically, I left Il Palio last May, and the hopes was to do as quick of a possible turnaround into my own restaurant as possible. Been gearing up with this kind of concept featuring Roman cooking and specifically Roman pizza, and really excited about that whole concept that's kind of been percolating for a couple years, and looking forward to hit the ground running. I didn't know what the turnaround time would be, but the approach was if you attack it with enthusiasm and a little bit of smoke and mirrors, then you can make the world whatever you want it to be. So yeah, I definitely did that. I left Il Palio and kind of been, doing some side gigs and consulting work in kitchens, but really working hard to develop Coronato not only as a concept and a brand and get the name out, but also, the whole purpose of Coronato for me and my family is to have fun and to really appreciate what we love about the restaurant industry, which is delicious, fun food, good energy, good community, and that's our whole scope. So hitting the ground running after leaving Il Palio is really what can I do to really start making an impact in those categories, right?
Yeah.
It's less about
and retain quality of life too, right?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's the whole dream, is putting it all together in a nice little package with a bow on top, and quality of life being the bow. So yeah, I'm just kind of searching. I have obviously a lot of friends in the industry in our area, and just kind of searching and exploring kind of what we can do to collaborate and have fun, and kind of just start to approach the imminent Coronato Pizza.
So speak to your collaborations right now. I was kidding around, but we just moved into our studios downtown Raleigh, right there on Hargett and Fayetteville Street. But if you go off around the corner on, is it Salisbury and Hargett? Just around the corner, you have Lucette Grace, former guest of the show, Daniel Benjamin. I've known Daniel since the first month I moved to North Carolina, and he is just an amazing talent and a good dude. A lot of people say that he and I look alike.
Oh, yeah, I could kind of see
They're
that.
like, are you guys related? I'm like, yeah, he's a handsome man. Oh, sorry, to paint a picture, Daniel Benjamin is a pastry chef, former pastry chef of the Umstead back when the Scott Crawford days at the Umstead Herons and all, and now owns Lucette Grace downtown Raleigh, which is a fantastic dessertery or cafe.
And more. I think they do. They have great lunch and stuff like that.
Yeah, lunch.
Coffee.
You can get croissants and pastry and coffee, but macaroons, amazing stuff there. Yeah, it's delicious. So with that said,
yeah, well, it was a 10-day stretch. Chef Daniel was very gracious. I mean, the whole energy behind it was. It started with I did my initial pop up with Botanist and Barrel out on their farm, on their cidery and Blueberry Farm, and him and his brother David, who owns Verluce Farms, who's an incredible farmer, great product, and someone that I use a lot at El Palio. And
a lot of tomatoes at Verluce, right?
Yeah, Verluce, second to none there as far as Italian farm products there. But they came to the Botanist and Barrel pop-up, and we were talking about maybe collaborating for something. We didn't know what. So I sat down with Chef Daniel, and he was gracious, and kind of we brainstormed some ideas, and we didn't want it to feel kind of like forced or do a pop-up there when he's like focusing on his great craft and what he does. We kind of wanted to put it in the same stream there. My whole tiramisu concept for Coronato really was something that I've had in the bag for a while, and so we kind of just brainstormed that. And what if we run it as a feature? And he was gracious enough to do it. So I came in his kitchen and we whipped up a batch, and he ran it for a 10-day stretch, and it was kind of just a nice kind of cross promotion. He was doing my recipe for me, and we kind of collaborated a little bit. We decided to put a little gold leaf on top as the crown for the tiramisu, which is very thematic to Coronato.
Coronato. I'm looking at your hat right now with the C and the gold crown on top. What's the name come from, and what is
Coronato is it's Italian for crowned or with a crown. So
coronation.
Right.
Yeah.
So anything the whole concept is we want to be the best. That's what we strive for. The name actually came about. We're very, like I said, Coronato is going to be very fun and refreshing and a really great vibe. My wife and I love hip hop, so there's going to be decidedly hip hop theme to the finished product. But the whole inspiration behind the name was Biggie's picture when he's wearing the crown.
Oh yeah.
Off to the side there, the Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I thought Coronato, the crowned one, and it fit with my whole vibe. It still gives me goosebumps when I think about it, so I know it's going to work.
We've had a guest of the show when we were in New York, Nick Anderer, who works for Danny Meyer and runs 3 amazing restaurants out there in Manhattan, Maialino, Marta, and Martina. And he is all about Roman cooking, and I was so naive to the idea that there's more to Italian food than just Italian food, that you start getting more specific into the microclimate and the micro areas of it all. And so Roman style cuisine is its own style in itself. And how did you find that to be so personable to you?
Well, so I've been doing regional Italian cooking my entire career, and I really took that and explored it wholeheartedly at El Palio, and I love it, and I love the boundaries that it creates and the structure. And you use olive oil in this region, use pecorino cheese in that, and Parmesan and butter here, and everything's very specific. And I would do annual travels to Italy and just kind of explore region to region and kind of just understand regional Italian cooking. When I decided to leave El Palio and branch out on my own, I still wanted to keep that kind of thought process and structure, because that's what I love and passionate about it, and I work well in those kind of in that structure. But again, delivering what can we do with fun and what can we do with delicious food, and what does the public really want. I go back to my visits to Rome that I've had, and it was going to be pizza driven. Roman pizza is something that I love, the cracker thin crust of that, contrasting like the Neapolitan crust that's really popular right now. Just regional Roman cooking is something completely different. It's really, you wake up in the morning and you can do whatever the hell you want, because they have so many global influences, and regional Italian cooking from all over Italy kind of finds its home in Roman cooking. So really from things like Middle Eastern influence, North African, Sicilian, the Spanish have good influence into Roman cooking. So really having a lot of fun with all the international influence, and then bring it all back into Italian cooking, Roman cooking. Yeah.
Nice.
So will that manifest itself in the menu over at
Yeah,
Coronato?
absolutely. So it's going to be a very modern Roman cooking rather than like a traditional, what you would think would be a traditional kind of grandmother style. It will be a very renegade Roman cooking kind of style.
So give me an idea of a dish that you'll find at Coronato that has Middle Eastern influences.
Well, falafel will be one of our snacks for sure. I actually talked to David, speaking of David Benjamin from Verluce Farm, he's going to be growing us fresh chickpeas. So we're going to use fresh green chickpeas to grind into fresh falafel for one of our snack options or little treats.
That sounds awesome.
That sounds really awesome. Yeah.
So what are you doing out here at Euphoria? You came down South Carolina. Obviously, you got shit to do right now until the restaurant opens. So I'm kidding. You're like, no.
It feels like that, yeah.
But you come down. You've been invited down to Euphoria to lay your hand out and to make some delicious food. What are you doing this weekend? Why are you here?
I love Euphoria. I mean, I guess last year was my first year down here, and I had such a great time. It's one of my favorite festivals to do. And so I was invited back again this year. I did Taste of the South on Friday night, and I did, house-made mozzarella there with some late summer tomatoes and some fresh herbs. And then I did a little cooking demo here today, just ripping some classic pasta carbonara, Roman style.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow.
We were privy to that. Very delicious.
Yeah, you gave me a little carbo load when I was getting a little peaked. That was nice.
That helped. So I'm gonna put it to the test right now. I have this brainchild for a while, and so nobody can steal it from me because now it's going to be on recorded and be out there next week. But I'm going to put down together a pizza cook-off, and I want all the best pizza makers in the Triangle and all over North Carolina to throw down. Has to be the same cooking apparatus, so you can't get into your comfort zone. You got to get out of your whatever your oven of choice is, and we're going to pick one all-encompassing cooking apparatus that you got to make your pizza on.
I suggested, and I don't know if we can do this, but Steb and Horn,
yeah,
you hear me? I'm calling you out right now. Kudu Grill needs to sponsor this whole thing,
yeah,
because we want to do open fire cooking and make pizzas on a kudu, and everyone has to do their own style of pizza on that same. Right?
Yeah.
Are you in?
Oh, I'm in, man.
All right.
I'm in.
Don't forget, that's recorded now.
Yeah, hey, I think anytime you can throw down for a pizza party, it's a good thing.
I will say, I don't think anyone's doing Roman pizza in the Triangle, or in North Carolina for that matter.
Yeah.
So you do have a place in this world to fit in really nicely, because yeah, you get like the New York style pizza that Anthony's doing over at Oakwood Pizza Box,
Yeah.
which is really cool. You've got the Tre Forni's doing Neapolitan,
Yeah.
with also Pizzeria Felici doing Neapolitan. Those are both
A
great.
lot of Neapolitan.
Yeah,
And then you got people doing their own doughs, like Mercado, like Pizzeria Toro,
Yeah.
kind of has their own style
they got their
going
own,
on.
yeah. And then you've got Ashley about to pop out with
Yeah.
with a poolside.
Poolside.
Basically, what we're saying is that the Triangle in North Carolina is going to be popping with pizza pretty soon. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's going to have it. So,
Yeah.
Popping with pizza.
yeah.
That's a good thing.
That
It's
is
a
a
good
good
hashtag too. Popping with pizza.
Teddy, thank you for being on the
Yeah,
show.
my
We'll keep this short, and we'll move on from there. You have fun at Euphoria, and we will have you on proper, and we'll talk more specific about menu and what you're really doing at Coronato when it gets to the point where you open.
Yeah.
I guess the last thing is, where's it going to be?
So that's a little bit of a teaser too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give me a city? No, not even a city.
It's in the Triangle.
It's in the Triangle.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
I like that. I
All
like
right.
that. All right. No information.
Not ready for that yet.
All right.
Well, we'll figure it out soon enough.
You didn't hear it here
No,
first.
you didn't. But maybe you will give us the scoop when you know.
Yeah.
Or when you can. Well, anyway, go follow Teddy Diggs on Instagram. What's your handle?
I got at Chef Teddy Diggs is personal, professional, and then at Coronato Pizza.
There you go.
Handle for all the
Too
Coronato
much.
news.
And I
much to
imagine
handle.
there you will figure out where you can go to eat and drink merrily very soon.